Welcome to Grow Getters with host Davis Michaelsen, who's looking for and discovering agriculture's most inventive side hustles.
Hey everybody, welcome to Grow Getters. Thanks for tuning in. I am Davis Michaelsen. Before we get too far, can I please remind you to like and subscribe so you won't miss a single episode of Grow Getters. Today's episode I'm very excited about. There's lots to get to here. Our entrepreneur is Kelly Garrett. Now, Kelly owns and operates Garrett Land and Cattle in Iowa. Here's just a little intro here. An ambassador for regenerative farming. He transitioned all 7,000 acres of his farm to no-till in 2012. Still farms approximately 7,000 acres of corn, beans, winter wheat, and raises about 500 head of cattle in a cow-calf herd, all with a strong conservation mindset and a desire to help others to do the same. I love that. Here's a quote. In just 4 years, Kelly says, we were blessed with the arrival of 3 boys, Connor, Colin, and Cale. He says, this led me to dedicate myself to build a solid foundation that would allow our boys to continue our family's farming tradition as the 7th generation. My life's purpose became creating a successful operation where I wouldn't have to turn any of them away if they decided to join me in farming. That is an absolute mouthful. Lots to get to here. Let me bring in Kelly Garrett, Garrett Land and Cattle. Welcome to Grow Getters today, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you, Davis?
Very well. Very well. This is an impressive resume that you've got here, sir. You're a busy guy. Garrett Land and Cattle in Iowa. Is that northwestern Iowa? I'm unfamiliar with where this town is.
We're 9 miles west of Denison, so we are just
Okay.
north of Highway 30. I guess
Okay.
I would say west central.
Okay, so you're in the cattle belt there in Iowa, you might say.
We're in the hills. You're right.
All right, very good. Let's begin. I kind of went through some of the particulars of your operation. 7,000 acres. Is all this still correct? What can you tell us about your operation today as it stands?
Yeah, we farm 7,000 acres. Next year it will be 95% corn. We'll have some winter wheat. We'll have some intensive rotational grazing. We are finding it difficult to make soybeans profitable, so we're going to go with more corn on corn. We're increasing the winter wheat acres, and then we hope to increase the cow numbers as well. And cows on that winter wheat ground is kind of our double crop. You know, we're too far north to have much of a double crop, but that's what we're trying to do to still break up some of the corn acres.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, along with your farming operation, which for most people would be more than enough on the old plate here, you've added a number of things here, and we'll sort of get to them one by one. But I want to start with talking about sustainability. You are accused of being a loud voice for sustainability in conservation. Right here in 2020, Kelly became the first farmer in the nation to sell carbon credits to a corporate buyer. Is that right?
Yes, December 1st, 2020, we sold 5,000 credits to Shopify.
Okay, very good. Now, not all of our viewers are farmers or familiar with the farm world. Can you give us just kind of an overview of what that looked like and what were you selling there?
So we were approached in the spring of 2020. Extreme Ag, one of the organizations I'm involved with, was approached in the spring of 2020 looking for, I'm supposed to say an early adopter. I call it a guinea pig. They were looking for somebody to be the first one to go through and sell the carbon credits. So we had to go back all the way back to 2010 and validate our rotation, our yields, our practices from 10 through 19. And then with the algorithm that they were using, we were on the Nori marketplace. With the algorithm that Nori has, we then verified how many tons of carbon, a ton and a credit are the same thing, how many tons of carbon we sequestered in the soil from the years 15 through 19, and then we were able to put those up for sale. In those 5 years, 15 through 19, they said that we sequestered like approximately 22,750 tons of carbon.
And what were some of those practices that you used that led to that sequestration?
No-till and cover crops are the two biggest.
Okay.
But there's other things about being sustainable, but by and large, no-till and cover crops at that time.
When you talk about double cropping cattle on wheat stubble, does that count as a sustainable practice or not necessarily?
It does, because after we take the winter wheat off, then we will drill back out there a cover crop, but we put the cattle back out there to harvest it. And we run the cows enough on the ground. We have our stocking rate would be considered maybe a little bit high to some people, but it is considered, it's high because we know we're going to take the winter wheat off, and then we're going to move some of the cows to that ground in mid-July.
Okay. That makes a ton of sense. Like many of the grow getters, jumping topics, I got ahead of us just a little bit because I was so excited about the carbon thing. But like many of the people we have here on the show, you came up as a farm kid and then left the farm for a little while and decided the thing to do was to come back. Tell us about that period of time in your life and what drove you to come back to the farm.
I graduated high school in 1993. So I was a child of the 80s and the farm crisis and things like that. And my dad and uncle were doing okay, but I sure didn't ever think there was going to be room that I was going to be able to come back to the farm. I left home, went to Iowa State with the intention of going to the board of the trade or maybe a bank. And I was in college for about 3 semesters. I got a job, a part-time job while I was in college as a carpenter. And after 3 semesters, I just did not like being indoors. I didn't enjoy studying. I didn't, and I really wanted to be outdoors doing something else. I quit school after 3 semesters, and I first started full-time as a carpenter, learned that trade. And then because of a friend I made, I went into a commercial insulation business, and I thought I was going to make that my career. But then the opportunity came up to rent a farm and move back home, and I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah. Very good. Let's get into it. I've got a jingle here for you for a business that we haven't talked about yet, GLC Beef. Let me lay the jingle on you and then we'll talk about it some more. GLC, it's easy to find fresh beef. Farm fresh is the quality your family needs. GLC, baby, that's farm fresh beef. GLC, it's easy to find fresh beef. Farm fresh is the quality your family needs. GLC, baby, that's farm fresh beef. GLC, baby, that's farm fresh beef. GLC Beef. You got kind of a farm to table thing there, hoof to fork type of deal. Talk to us about GLC Beef.
In the effort to make the operation large enough for all 3 of my sons, and really just to see how good we can do. You know what I mean? I just always want to do my best. And COVID really kind of changed the world, where people want to know where their food is coming from, even more so than they did before. And, much like all of the cow-calf producers in the area, we're proud of the product we raise. We feel that we do a good job. And I thought that we could add revenue to the farm with more vertical integration. So we started GLC Beef. And we retain ownership, finish, and then process the home-raised Black Angus heifers. So we can make an all-natural claim, which means no hormones, no antibiotics. We don't use those on the farm. If we have to use an antibiotic, that calf is tagged and then is sold separately at the sale barn. It doesn't go through the meat store. And then also we can make an Angus claim, which is a little bit of the minor leagues of CAB. So we could pass for certified Angus beef, but we believe from a marketing standpoint, as long as we can put Angus on the packaging, we're accomplishing what we want to accomplish. So everything that goes into GLC Beef is a Black Angus heifer. And the reason that it's a heifer is because the steers are worth more in town. So we're adding value to kind of the lesser quality product. And then the heifer is easier to make fat. And when we make them fat, that's how we get the grade. So it's easier to make a heifer grade better. So there's a method to the madness. There's a reason that it's the Black Angus heifers.
For sure. Is GLC Beef widely available? If someone's watching in Delaware, can they get a hold of that? Or are you sticking mostly with your local area?
No, we in my small hometown of Dow City, Iowa, we built a store right there on Main Street. I wanted to support our hometown. So we have a storefront, and then glcbeef.com is the website. And we've shipped many times to New York City. We've shipped many times to Phoenix, Dallas, LA. We 2-day shipping. It will arrive there frozen, of course. And it's all home raised beef and all natural. It's a great product. We're very proud of the product. We have our own line of barbecue sauce, our own line of seasoning. Whoa. We have our own line of beef sticks now. and we ship those. The beef sticks are on Amazon as of a couple weeks ago.
Huh.
It's a we've been open 2 years now, and it's a developing business, something we're very proud of.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. Now, along with that goes a trucking business or two. I'm a little confused whether there are one or two trucking companies. I've got KSX and Garrett Transport. Is that one entity or sort of two separate entities?
So Garrett Trucking is what we started out with an LLC on the farm when we bought our first semi 20 years ago. And then because of an agronomic product that we use, we call it plant food. I started with a partner, KSX Transportation. And so we still own both. My sons and I own Garrett Trucking, and KSX Transportation is owned by my business partner, Mike Williams, and I. And so both operations kind of work together, but there are two businesses there. KSX is really the larger one that does most of the commercial trucking.
Yeah, for sure. With that, I've prepared an ode for you that I think captures all of the businesses that you run that are on my list. Let's see if we can get them all, and I can get all these syllables in. Are you ready? KSX and Garrett Transport to bring delicious GLC beef straight to your fork. Kelly Garrett. There's also Edelmans Town and Country Service Station. Extreme Ag here is last but not least to help you build your farming business sustainably. Kelly Garrett on the Grow Getters Show.
That was a mouthful.
Edelmans Town and Country Service Station. Now, what do you got going there, dude?
Edelmans, it's my uncle Ace Edelman. Ace and Marilyn. Marilyn and my mom are sisters. And, Ace and Marilyn are like my second mom and dad. My mom and her sister are very close. And, we grew up 5 miles north of town is where I grew up. And, they, of course, lived there in Dow City. Ace's dad started the service station in 1956. Huh. And my two cousins, Jill and Julie, they're more like my sisters than my cousins. We all grew up together. My mom and dad are 71. Ace just turned 70. And, they were thinking about starting to slow down. And Jill and Julie were not interested in owning the gas station, the mini mart. And that station is very important to my family, my community, and my trucking business. KSX and Garrett Trucking has 55 semis, and that's where we buy our fuel. And the idea that was going to change potentially and not be a family-owned business really bothered me. So I didn't ever really know that I was going to own a gas station. But when Ace talked about wanting to slow down, and when Jill and Julie expressed that they weren't interested, I was happy to own it, but I just couldn't see anybody else owning that. So we purchased that, and we have a team of managers and things like that. They do a great job. We have added GLC Beef there. We're really proud of the lunch. A gas station and the lunch that you can get there. We think we have the best lunch in any gas station around because we have GLC Beef going in there and the lunch specials we can provide.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if you can help me with some local dialect just a little bit. There's a dish that's served, and I'm from Iowa. There's a dish that's served white bread with roast beef on it, glob of mashed potatoes, and brown gravy on top. What is the name of that entree?
A hot beef.
A hot beef. Okay. I've heard it called all sorts of things.
Yep.
Manhattan. I've heard it. It's bizarre, all the different names. Well, I think we've come to consensus here on the hot beef sandwich. I mean, on a cold fall night, there's nothing like a hot beef sandwich.
That's right.
So I would like to take a moment here now. We've sort of gone down this long list of things that you have viewed as opportunities in your life, things that you felt like the timing was right, the opportunity was right, it was the right thing to do. Entrepreneurs out there are watching this thinking, oh my gosh, I could never do something so humongous myself. He's got this going. Talk to that person. How does the young farmer who's thinking about, I got to get something else going. I want to stay on the farm, but I got to get something else going. Talk to those folks, please, Kelly.
Well, years ago, I was a partner in a business that made like pillows, throw rugs, blankets, things like that. And I really thought I was going to get outside of agriculture and make more serious money. That business failed. and I lost a few dollars, and it made me learn that I needed to stick to agriculture and what I knew. And it also, I didn't know the term at the time, but intentional congruence. And what that means is one business grows out of the other. So like, we started with the farm, and then we started with Garrett Trucking, the trucks. Well, we already owned a few trucks because of harvest and things like that. And then GLC Beef is, of course, the cattle, and KSX Transportation, the fertility product that it hauls and we use on the farm. It's kind of like a spider web, and every business is tied back into the other. And I know it seems like we have a lot going on right now, but it didn't happen overnight. It didn't start like that. KSX has been around 8 years now. We've owned the gas station for a year, GLC Beef for 2 years, things like that. And then also the team of people that I have around me. I would tell you, I'm probably the least important person here, in my opinion, because of the managers and I have a team of employees, 7 or 8 strong, and I call them SEAL Team 6. And that's the highest compliment I can give, because they'll run through a brick wall for me. And they, if I have to be gone for a speaking engagement for Extreme Ag or something like that, they really can't handle it. So hire good people, pay them well, take care of them, and don't micromanage them. Let them do their job. And we do have a lot going on, but again, it did not happen overnight. Start small, start with what you know, make sure that you should try to include some intentional congruence. There's hidden profits in efficiency. We're using those trucks to haul the cattle, to haul the grain, and to work for KSX Transportation. And every business supports the other business. Edelmans Town and Country is the fuel supplier for the trucks. It's a retail location for GLC Beef. Again, there's hidden profits in efficiency, and that will really help you out to do a better job in the long run.
Hidden profits in efficiency. That's fantastic. Any chance you're grinding up some of that corn and walking it off the farm, or are you just marketing
Oh,
direct?
yes.
Yeah.
No, we're feeding our own corn. We're feeding
Yeah.
our own silage. We are really proud of the beef product that we have. And
Yeah.
because of Extreme Ag, some of the research and education, I really think part of the reason that the beef is good is because of what we're trying to accomplish when we balance the soil and balance the plant. I believe that comes through in the quality of the beef that we serve.
Absolutely. Now, let's not lose these websites in the conversation. I see extremeag.farm on the wall behind you there.
Yes.
We've also got glcbeef.com. Now, the extremeag.farm, if farmers are interested, maybe they're, that word sustainability, some people, it makes them bristle just a little bit. Well, it shouldn't. Extreme Ag, can they find more information on how to make that weird word real?
So extremeag.farm started, there's 6 of us that are partners. 7 of us, there's one minority partner in South Dakota, but 6 of us main partners in Alabama, Tennessee, Maryland, North Carolina, Arkansas. And we all got to be friends speaking in South Dakota at the Egg PhD field day, and got to be friends up there working together because of our yield accomplishments in the NCGA yield contest, things like that. And we started Extreme Ag because we knew, the things that we do relative to average or the norm are extreme. And it's just a peer group and a learning center for each other. And I've learned a lot from Matt Miles in Arkansas, learned a lot from Temple Rhodes in Maryland, and bring those back here. And we just share ideas and things like that. There's about 400 people that subscribe to Extreme Ag now. And it's private Facebook page and different interaction. And we just share ideas and thoughts. And the partners at Extreme Ag all trial product for different companies. That's one thing that we didn't realize was going to happen. There's about 30 companies that sponsor Extreme Ag, and really what they're sponsoring us to do is try their products, and then we make videos about it. We talk about it in a very unbiased way. We don't ever want to talk bad about somebody, Davis, but we do want to tell the truth, and we're there for the farmer. So we share with the farmer what our experiences is, whether it be good or bad. We're going to talk to you why this yield trial worked or why it did not. And the companies that sign on to sponsor with us are aware of that we will tell the truth, again, in a positive fashion. And that the most sacred thing we have, the most valuable thing Extreme Ag has, is our credibility. We work very hard to maintain that. But Extreme Ag it's for the farmers. And what kind of we say our mission statement is cutting the curve. We will cut the learning curve for another farmer on a product he might think about trying because we've probably already tried it.
Yeah. And what's cool about that, I mean, you move across the section and you may be dealing with different soil conditions. You've got guys in, did you say Arkansas and Maryland and, all over the place that can speak to some of those regional variations that every farmer, kind of sometimes I imagine you get advice from a farmer who maybe doesn't have the same kind of soil as you. You kind of got to adjust it a little bit. Here you can get it straight from some different regions. Anyway, that's a terrific benefit there.
Absolutely. The footprint that we have and then the list of contacts and the networking we can do is pretty tremendous. And the things that we can learn. We desiccate soybeans now. I'd never even heard of it till Extreme Ag. In Arkansas, they can't raise soybeans without desiccating because the plant won't die. It's been a game changer, a life-changing experience for me to dessiccate soybeans here in Western Iowa.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. Wow.
Yeah, an example. We can move harvest ahead about 3 weeks. And it's a wonderful practice if you're raising soybeans.
extremeag.farm. And if you're hungry for supper tonight, glcbeef.com. Did I get both of those correct?
That's right. You're doing a great job.
Well, Kelly, just float out. Just give us just a nugget for those young entrepreneurs. You've sort of set them up with the idea. You've shown how you kind of one idea led to the next. Just give us a quick shot of inspiration, would you?
If there's something that you enjoy doing and that you think you can be successful at, it's not really work. I don't golf or hunt or fish or anything like that. I really enjoy the businesses that I have. I spend a lot of time in them. My wife Amber would tell you that I'm a workaholic, but I don't feel like I have to work much. And that's to me is kind of the secret to life is not to have to work. And I really don't. I enjoy what I do so much that it's not work. My dad lives across the road and my sons live up the road. My not just my dad, but my mom and dad. It's a family operation. The people that work here are like family to me. And my number one goal in life is to have fun. And I really have fun at what I do. That makes it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kelly, I think we'll stop it there. We've taken up enough of your time. Kelly Garrett, from a host, GLC Beef, KSX, Garrett Transportation, Integrated Ag Solutions, Edelmans Town and Country Service Station, and of course, extremeag.farm. Thanks so much, Kelly Garrett, for being here with us today, man. Have a great day.
Thank you, Davis.
Production support provided by Jack Heffron and Zach Zengula. Find Grow Getters on Farm Journal's YouTube channel and listen to it wherever you find your favorite podcasts. So for Farm Journal Studios, I'm your pal, Davis Michaelsen. Thanks for tuning in to Grow Getters once again. And hey, everybody, let's get out there and grow get 'em.
Grow Getters is a production of Farm Journal Studios, where no one grows alone.